Okay, I'm back with our new topic. Now we are moving into the topic of judicial system. Okay, for this topic, we're going to learn the composition of the courts, jurisdiction, as well as different types of courts. Then we're also going to look into special jurisdictions of the court. Okay, but before we move on, we need to know certain terms. What do you understand by court? Okay, what do you understand by judiciary? So it's a branch of government having a judicial power. This is what we call judiciary. And what is the judicial power? So it's the power of the government to decide controversies between subjects or is between itself and subject. This is judicial power, government having judicial power. Okay, and the other one is jurisdiction, which is the power of the court to judge or judge to hear and decide a case or to make a particular order. When we talk about jurisdiction, we talk about bidang kuasa. Okay, if you don't understand on that. Okay, so when you ask what is the jurisdiction of the court, so apa dia bidang kuasa mahkamah tersebut. Okay, and then we are moving on to original jurisdiction, which is the right of the court to try at first instance before any other court or power to hear for the first time. This is when we say first instance, this part, first instance, this part, okay, first instance, okay. We are talking about that first instance. We are talking about which is the first time, which court, the first time you submit. So if you submit or if you submit you file in your case before the magistrate's court, so we call that the court of the first instance. So which court you firstly file in your case. So original jurisdiction is the right of the court to try case at first instance before any other court. So if you're saying that you High Court is the court of the first instance, meaning to say that is the first court, which that is the type of the court which you actually file in your case. And then when they say that before any other court, in this sentence, before any other court or power to hear the first time, so meaning if there is appeal, okay, so from High Court goes to Court of Appeal. Okay, and then appellate jurisdiction, meaning the power of the court to consider a case after the case has been decided by the lower court. Now, when we if you remember, subordinate court, superior court is the High Court. If you're not satisfied with the decision of the High Court, you can go to the Court of Appeal. If you're still not satisfied with the decision, you still can go to the Federal Court. So that's the highest court. Okay, so those are the superior court. Now we move on to what we are looking at next one. At the judicial review, what does it mean? It is the power of the court to pronounce the legality or otherwise of an act or statute. This is more of the court to decide whatever act done pursuant to an act or statute, whether it is legal or void. Okay, you're going to learn this more if you are doing administrative law or any cases relating to administrative power. So meaning any cases relating to the power of the government, something like that. And then supervisory jurisdiction is the power of the higher court to control activities of the subordinate court. So Federal Court can have this supervisory jurisdiction, okay, as well as the High Court. But when we talk about High Court, they only supervise those lower courts like the Sessions Court or Magistrates Courts. Okay, anyway, you have seen this supervisory jurisdiction. You're going to see this supervisory jurisdiction later. Okay. Okay, when we talk about courts, you need to know again classification of the courts, where when we say superior or higher courts, not High Court, if we are talking about High Court, this is this High Court. If you are talking about higher courts, meaning those higher ranking compared to this court. So when we talk about superior or higher court, okay, we talk about high court, court of appeal, or federal court. And when you said, or when I said inferior court or lower courts or subordinate courts, this is what it meant. Either sessions court, or magistrates courts. This is how you spell out magistrate with an apostrophe, sessions court. Okay, and then we're also going to look into the courts of special jurisdiction. Okay, this is in the part 2 of the video. Part 2 of the big section. We're going to look into Sharia court, native court, martial court, court for children, special court for rulers, and industrial court. Okay. I'm going to show you the hierarchy. So this is the hierarchy. When we talk about federal court, okay, that's the highest in the ranking. And then next, we have a court of appeal. Below court of appeal, we have high court in Malaya and high court in Sabah and Sarawak. So these two are two together, same level, same ranking. And then we have sessions court, and then we have magistrates court. This is when it comes to a hierarchy. So all this, okay, and below are the lower courts. Okay, firstly, we're going to look into what is the federal court. Okay, now where does and how do we actually constitute this court? How does this court exist? Article 121, Clause 2 of the Federal Constitution says that there shall be a court which shall be known as Mahkamah Persekutuan or Federal Court, and the Mahkamah Persekutuan or Federal Court shall have its principal registry at such place as the Yang di-Pertuan Agong may determine. So we know that currently the Federal Court is in Putrajaya. Okay, compared to the other courts which is in Jalan Duta. Okay, and then the other parts which actually govern Federal Court is Courts of Judicature Act 1964. So if you look under provision part 4, we have they have these provisions for the Federal Court. Okay, and then Article 122 Clause 1 of the Federal Constitution says that the Federal Court shall consist of a President of the Court. So this is where to be styled as the Chief Justice of the Court, and of President of the Court of Appeal, Chief Judges of the High Courts of Malaya and Sabah Sarawak. Okay, and until the Yang di-Pertuan Agong or order otherwise provide 11 other judges and such additional judges as may be appointed. Let me just amend here a bit. I've changed the word off to in. Now, for those of you who have the book with you, please take note. The word here, if you see, is stated there as 7. Actually, there were a lot of amendment. It was my mistake which I did not actually amend it. Can you please amend from 7 actually to 11? There was actually a bit of slight misunderstanding on that. This sort of 11 other judges was inserted by the PUA 163/2009. So in that particular PUA 163/2009, it stated there as maximum number. The word used was 11 other judges. So we have these 3: Chief Justice of the Federal Court, President of the Federal Court, and these 2 ranking. Okay, these 2 types, which is Chief Judges of the High Court, Malaya and Sabah Sarawak. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So some books, I'm not going to say books. Some people, lecturers, maybe they misunderstood the whole thing. That include me as well. When I actually read it, actually when this says that 11 other judges, so 11 other judges are other judges compared to these 4. So actually 11 other judges means that is the maximum numbers of other judges which they can add in. So apart from these 4, they can have 11 other, meaning they can add in another 11. So that makes the total maximum of the composition of the federal court is 15. Please highlight those, change those for those who have the book. Sorry for the mistake made. Okay, now these are the composition for the federal court. Then section 74 talks about the proceeding, in which proceedings can be 3 judges, okay, and or any other uneven number depending on the complexity of the case, and decisions are made by majority. So when we talk about federal court, we also need to know what sort of jurisdiction they have. So jurisdiction is original, which is the power to hear the case for the first time. And then appellate, reference, and advisory. These are the types of jurisdiction that the federal court has.